Hey, how's it going? I haven't made a video in a while. I've been bouncing all over the place, going to solar shows, meeting with people, getting stuff lined out for next year, trying to do some projects along the way. I'll try to go back and make some back videos, but we're actually on site of an off-grid system I installed, I think a little over 3 years ago. This is an Outback quad stack. I got a couple midnight charge controllers. I'll explain that in a second. We've got 2 pole mounts. I did this really neat battery installation, which is on the back side. It's in an isolated room. That's exactly on the back side, and it's the Hawker. They're all 2 volts. So I'll give you a little overview of what we got here. Okay, so I got the phone from Kanan, my handy trusted kid worker. But as you can see, we have a quad stack of 3648 VFX inverters from Outback. So basically this is the power plant. I have these set up in Outback stack mode, so 2 of them will be kind of clicking on randomly and off. You can see they're going to sleep when they're not needed. That's kind of the function of the Outback auto transformer. This allows it to do load balancing and these inverters to kick on and off when they need to, depending on the power setting of how much power I want to pull through the master of line 1 and line 2 before those ones kick on. So we're kind of right at the cusp where everything's kind of going back and forth a little bit. But right here, we got 6K of PV. We're getting ready to install a hydro system, which is super exciting. I don't get to do those very often, so we'll have 2 more Midnight Classics and some kind of dump load going pretty soon. And then as soon as Midnight gets her wind turbine in, we'll have 2 more controllers, or a controller and a dump load for the turbine. Up here, this DC enclosure is for the inverters and for the solar. You can see we got everything labeled in here, GFI breakers. Part of the complexity with this one is the battery room is on the other side, so I did a separate FlexWare 1000 so that you can disconnect everything over in the battery room if you have to use servicing or safety for any reason. And over here is just the standard FlexWare AC enclosure. This is all wired by us, no pre-wire here, so we got to spend some time and keep it all nice and clean and lots of room to work in. That's one of the things we like about wiring them ourselves. This actually takes quite a bit to make them look like this. One of the other things I like to do on my projects is I like utility meters. I put meters on everything, on the generator and on the load panel, so that way you can see really what the consumption and the production is. This standard one over here, this rotary, is for the generator. The generator has to power it, it has to be on. If I use one of these types of meters right here, you're not going to be able to see what the reading is with the generator off, so I use these kind of standard rotary styles and keep it simple for the generator input. So let's see, we're at 3 years, a little over 3 years on this project, and we're at 28,426 kilowatt hours. Not bad for an off-grid system. I really like this setup a lot with the way that the breakers and all the power feed out, because it lets everything kind of flow underneath the gutter up into the inverter and then kind of go out and do everything that it needs to. We spent a lot of time in the attic of this, custom molding all the PVC pipe for all the futures and everything else that we wanted to do. And you can see we're kind of coming in through a door. It's really kind of hard to get good video because this room is pretty tight. So I'm going to walk around and show you guys the battery room. All right, so here we are. This is on the back side of the inverter room. This is a 48 volt system. These are Hawker batteries. Each container has 12 volt or 2 volt batteries in it, 4 12 volt banks series together to give us one big bank. I put these on a containment pallet. I don't really expect that these ones are going to be losing a lot of fluid. He takes really good care of these, but it was mainly to keep thermal bridging so that the concrete didn't make the batteries cold in the wintertime. They just barely fit on this pallet, so I had to build some kind of anti-earthquake balusters to keep everything in place. And you can see we have a separate FlexWare 1000 that all of the battery cables go up into, and in case of servicing, like we just came here, we had to change a fan in one of the inverters. We're able to completely disconnect everything out of this room, keep it safe, and then we retorqued everything and kind of cleaned it up. So this is probably one of my favorite battery room designs that I've ever done. I was able to come into this project before they even broke dirt on it, so it really kind of gave me the luxury of kind of coming up with some new designs and having some fun along the way. So let's go out to the Ray. All right, here we go. So these are ET solar panels on some DPW poles. It was a little interesting because they were down on the hillside, but again, just pretty much standard off-grid stuff. Everything's all wired nice and clean. Drops down in a weather head. We actually, it's hard to see up there, but we actually stamped everything for different months of what he needs to adjust the array to, and then it feeds down. We're using the Midnight high voltage controllers, so we had to do a little bit of work in this box right here. I actually did parallel feeds. I ran some big copper. It's quite a ways back, a little bit farther than what we wanted to do, so we just did some parallel feeds and ran those in there. And I had some good back plates made from a friend that's a fabricator, so that way they weren't all floppy. I didn't want to unistrut it, and got everything kind of dialed. So this by far has been one of my favorite systems that I've installed, just because kind of was able to take some time and really build some really neat stuff. I got some great pictures on Facebook of this install that you can kind of see how I built some custom pole mount jigs to support them. Made it super simple to install, and really kind of, you know, if you start really good from the beginning, put thought into it, it really lets you build some clean stuff. So all right, I hope you guys like just this quick overview of a 3-year-old off-grid system that looks pretty much as good as the day I left it. So have a great day, and I'll talk to you guys soon.